Hello, welcome back to another episode of Somewhere Between a Film and TV podcast. We're your hosts. I am Daniel Parr.
And I'm Erwin Trejo.
And number one, thank you so much for listening and watching. Number two, what are they going to do?
They're going to like, comment, and subscribe. Why were you looking at me like that?
Because I was concerned if you were okay.
No, because you know how like dogs would go around in a circle to like sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that.
Oh, because
like,
you're tired?
No, I mean like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know why they do that. You know why?
I don't know. To make themselves comfortable. I do the same thing when I go to bed.
You go around in a circle.
Yeah, of course I do.
Dude,
Please.
I've seen your bed. You can't.
Uh-huh.
No, you can't.
You see my bed.
Yeah, I have.
You've never been in my house.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right. So, yes, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, like,
I think
comment,
you
subscribe.
said that. Yeah,
I did.
Novocaine.
Novocaine.
That's what we're reviewing. Everything we review will always have full spoilers. Before we get into all of that, though, I gotta ask Erwin, what is this about?
Cream that gives you the ability not to feel pain.
Not that type of.
Jack Quaid made me cream Novocaine.
Okay, yeah. It's about a man who
has a certain disease. They can't.
Yeah.
SIPA.
Yeah. This is what they call it. Yeah.
Oh well. He can't feel any sort of pain whatsoever, and he basically falls in love with this girl.
Uh-huh.
And there's this robbery that happens, and he falls in love with this girl after her first date too.
Yeah, I understand. Like, I mean,
hey, love at first sight, but more so at love at understanding each other's traumas that they had in the past.
And that this girl really likes pie a lot.
Cherry pie.
Yeah.
What's your favorite pie? You said apple pie, right?
I said pecan. I've never said apple.
I thought you said you like apple pie.
I do like apple pie. I love apple pie. I also love cherry pie.
Okay, so you just love pies.
I do love pie.
But you love pecan pie the best.
Cream pie.
You always go back to cream.
Banana cream.
Speaking of cream, I saw his bed last night.
Anyway, with this movie.
You didn't ask my favorite pie.
What was your favorite pie?
Okay, what's my favorite pie?
What's your favorite pie?
No, you should know.
Oh, the boring one, because you're playing.
Boring?
Potato? Sweet potato?
How's that boring?
Or pumpkin.
Yes, to both.
Yeah, okay.
Guys, I'm a texture person, and I love sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie.
Aren't those like slimy?
They're not slimy. Dude, the pies that you picked are slimy.
They're good.
What are you talking about?
With this movie.
No, I'm pissed. Go ahead. Yeah. This movie, yes, this movie.
Did you love it? Did you hate it? Or are you somewhere between?
I loved it.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay.
I love this movie. I mean, it's kind of funny. We just got done complaining, especially me, I guess, about how like similar they felt to other things.
Yeah.
Like, yes, this felt like John Wick, and it felt like Nobody, and it felt like, but however, I thought it was really fun.
It definitely reminded me of...
Nobody in particular, right? I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought that, like, the Looney Tunes level of violence that happens in this is what set it apart for me, because it gets so funny. It's such a great idea.
Yes.
And I thought that, like, it's not that it dragged. I think
the casting of Jack Quaid was also great as well.
Yeah. He's, of course, like, the best part of it to me. I thought that he's the type of person, I think he's in a lot of stuff now. Oh, yes. But I feel like the thing about him is he's utilized in a way that I feel like people don't quite grasp how good he is at the type of character he plays. Where in Companion, he was a douche, but like on surface level, he acted like this.
Yes.
Which for some reason I kept like thinking was going to happen in this. I don't know why, I couldn't tell you. But
especially from the trailers, I think the trailers at first gave that what he really is in like throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
But at some points in the trailer, I forgot that there's this one scene where he like punches the ground to get glass. Man,
you already talked about my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah. I just forgot about that. And I'm like, oh.
Maybe I only saw the trailer once because I didn't even remember that happening.
I saw the trailer a couple of times.
Yeah. But what exactly did you love about this so much?
I think I loved more the different creative ideas that they used, his not feeling pain.
Yeah.
As often as possible in this movie. And I also like it gave stakes too, knowing that he had to every 3 hours had to go take a piss break. Yeah, just in case. Or he had to like drink fluids all the time because he's afraid of like biting his tongue off. I didn't think of, like, stuff like that. Like, you don't really think about. Like, oh yeah, like that's like a way for us to like realize like we need stuff, like, you know, to feel type of pain to survive.
That was one of those things where it answered my question of like, okay, just because you can't feel it, can you still get knocked out? Can you still like, which I thought was really interesting, because the way that they like decide to explain that is whenever he gets punched or anything, yes, the force of him, he still falls. Yeah. But something I thought was hilarious was whenever the guy keeps trying to beat him and he keeps on going, we can talk about this, and he's like, just like dude, that was funny, normal the entire time. Which like I feel like we'll talk about the action and stuff. Yeah. But my favorite joke in this is when the guy's torturing him and he like rips his nails off and he's like, ow. That's good. That like deadpan delivery is so funny. But
the comedy in this movie is great.
Yeah, it is very much an action comedy for sure. I was hoping that it was. A little bit of romance. No, that's what I liked so much about it. I thought that the first act, I was kind of surprised. I felt like it sort of took its time more than I thought it was going to, because I feel like this movie only has two options: either like give a really good sense or reason to care, or make it like really, really high energy the whole time and just like constant nonstop. And it doesn't do that. It's not like John Wick in that way. It's why I say it feels more like Nobody, because it does kind of pause a little bit. Yeah. And
I wish more people saw that movie. They're making a sequel, right?
They are, which I thought was great, and I really, really liked that movie. But with this, alongside that, I also really like Amber Midthunder. Yes. In this as well. I thought they had a really good chemistry with each other.
Yeah. She has more to do at the later in the movie, which is great. Also, what's his name? The Nicholson's brother, Jack Nicholson. Or not brother, his son.
His son that looks just like him, Ray Nicholson.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly like him. It's insane.
He has the same, like, every time he like smiles. I'm like, that's that guy. Him, that's him. Yeah. But what else did you like about this?
I also liked just the different like action sequences that would happen, and him utilizing things that I guess we wouldn't notice because he doesn't feel any pain, but then you would see the other characters react to the heat. Heat or like the other type of things that would feel very painful to you. Yeah. And they react while he's just going through the motions and like, I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. It's just very chaotic. Yeah. But with him, he made it seem so simple for what he was trying to do.
It's because Jack Quaid, like the point I was trying to make earlier is he's such a good everyman. Yeah. I feel like that's a really underrated thing that you can be, is just being able
especially nowadays.
Yeah, especially being able to sell something that is so outlandish when you really think about it as just like completely normal. Like so you're like, oh, this is happening to him. Yeah. It's such like a interesting performance because you have to react without reacting. Yeah. And it's to a point where you're like, how exactly can an actor pull that off? And he does it really well. Yeah. Especially when it comes to the initial action scene where that guy's brother's killed. Yes. In the kitchen is amazing. And at first I thought he was going to die just because of like a gluten something or whatever.
Oh, that would have been funny.
But the fact that his hand is put into like a fryer or something. Oh, yes. Spends the entire movie with like a fried hand was like a very like visually creative gag to me. Yeah. And this movie does a whole lot of those. It's way more visually driven than I think you might think it is, because I saw some Letterboxd reviews of people that were like kind of complaining about this movie where they were like it reminded me too much of Deadpool, which I didn't agree with at all.
I didn't know.
I thought this movie was too sincere for that, and a little bit too like kind-hearted.
I didn't think it was as gory or bloody as the Deadpool movies.
No, definitely not. Yeah. Like maybe that could have been a bit of a missed opportunity for this, I feel, but like also the budget's pretty small of this for once, the things we're talking about, but like because this was made for a smaller budget, which is why I probably felt like my one thing was that maybe that like it could have been expanded on just a little bit more. Yeah,
I mean, if anything, I really wish I got to see more of his friend. In the movie. The guy who invented sex.
Did you see did I send you the interview about that?
He talked about it?
Yes.
Oh, what did he say?
Someone interviewed him.
Oh, that's amazing.
She was like, I gotta ask you a question. What does it feel like to be the CEO of sex? He like bursted out laughing, and he was like, so I thought it was like kind of an irony thing at first, and he was like, but that's awesome.
That's great.
He was like, I mean, don't get me wrong, my girlfriend had some questions.
Dude, imagine you as a girlfriend going, hey, why are you the CEO of sex? Like, me?
Like, who are you talking about?
I was like, get a load of this guy.
But yeah, no, I saw it. I thought all of the action in this was like really fun and creative. My favorite one, you already said, takes place in actually, well, there's another one later.
Yeah.
But the one in the tattoo parlor thing where the guy has a Nazi thing on him. He punches the glass and you're just like, I'm sure this will be an edit in a few months where it's like
Sigma Alpha male edits. And then my favorite.
He like punches his eyes with that. I thought that was crazy. It was like really clever.
And then using the actual what's it called, the needle?
The tattoo thing, and then he like writes it down. I busted out laughing. That's so funny, I thought. And I was wondering, I was like, did they like only introduce that guy was a Nazi just so they could get away with a kill that brutal pretty much, or like what he does to his eyes? But I thought that joke was also really funny where he was like trying to get the guy's last name. It turned out his last name was Clark, and he was like, a totally funny story. How do you think his last name's pronounced? And the way he looks at it.
Oh, that reminds me of when people like, okay, for example, if I don't know a word, right? I don't know, like let's just say I didn't know how to spell a word. Okay. Let's say like fire. I didn't know how to spell the word fire. Okay. Right? And then I ask you, hey, how do you spell fire? And then you just go, you don't know how to spell fire? That's crazy. Yeah. And then I just go, can you spell it for me? Yeah. And then you're just like, dude, how do you not know how to spell fire? That's insane.
It sounds like a real conversation.
Yes, I've had plenty of times.
That sounds like you.
Yes. And I'm like, so you don't know how to spell fire? And it's like, no, I know how to spell fire.
Then spell
it for me then, because I'm asking you, you're not telling me. Yeah. It reminds me of that. I'm just saying that because I still think about those type of conversations that I have.
This like hit you like pretty recently, didn't it?
No, that was like months ago.
Like it's been on my
mind have grudges. Ever since, yeah. Okay, go ahead. Are we doing it? Reviewing? Okay, got it.
Yeah. Novocaine, starring Jack Quaid and Erwin Midthunder. Yes. But what else did you like about this?
I like the detectives.
Oh yeah, who that guy? What is he in?
He's in Veep. Oh, I only know that because I've seen that show, and that show's hilarious. Yeah, and he's also hilarious in that show. Yeah, but he always shows up. Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He plays that. That's what it was. Night shift workers too. Yeah. He just shows up randomly in like other comedic shows. He's just like in comedies and
stuff, right? Yeah. Okay. But another thing.
Oh, and that girl, she's in the movie Get Out.
Is she?
Yes, the maid.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The one where it's like you see her eyes and like she's like crying. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just kind of funny. This is one of those movies where I'm like, well, I don't know how much there is to say on it, really. No.
It's very simple. The story, just him trying to save this girl. There was a twist.
Oh, there was. Did you see that coming
out? I didn't see it.
Stupid. I didn't either.
Yeah. I think I was very immersed with like everything else.
Genuinely, at that point, I was very in it, and whenever Amber Midthunder, I still haven't seen Prey. But
I have. Great.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes, great.
I liked all the things that the two movies were. I like her in them. Yeah. But
she was an opus.
Yeah. But the thing about this was when she's first introduced and they're at that bar, I'm like, I do not like people like this. Where she was like, let's go ahead and like let bygones be bygones. I was like, I hate when people do shit like that. I was like, and then of course it turns out that she was just setting the guy up.
Wait, what do you mean you don't like that?
I don't like when people try and do that. Like obviously this guy was bothered by like.
You don't like when like the person's like steps in.
Or they're like kind of making up their feelings for them. Like, you're overreacting. It's been so long. Like, let's go ahead and like let the past be the past. Yeah. And then I'm like, obviously, if like that guy was being bullied for just like since he couldn't feel anything, even though like yes the question is being asked, how bad is it if he can't feel it? Still, it's the action of doing it. Like, come on. But whenever he comes back out and she's like, ha ha ha, you're so funny, and I was already getting irritated by that, and I was like, in the face.
Yeah, she was a good actress.
The face he even makes where he's like, he looks so sad. Yeah, and I was like, I felt so bad.
But then she was fooling him.
Yeah,
but then she was fooling him.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
She not only double crossed him, but she like double crossed him, because later whenever he's eating those cola gummies, have you ever had those?
I don't like them.
Okay, I was curious because I know that you like gummy bear based stuff the most.
I just love gummies in general.
Yeah, I love Sour Patch Kids a lot.
Yeah,
and if you get those gummy bears that are kind of hard, but they're hard to find. I cannot remember the name for the life of me, but they're really good. I'll send you. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about later. Okay. But if you get those in front of me, I can't stop eating them. And then there's
just gummies in general. The moment I have one, I want the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's why I can't.
They're hard to moderate. Yeah, they're sugar free, so you you can't help but you shit
the sugar free gummy. Oh no, those are the worst. Yeah. I told you about the one time where I ate a whole container of sugar free gummy bears.
Guess what happened to you?
Yeah, 2 or 3 in the morning. It was. I remember waking up going like, "Oh, God, what is this?" And then I was like, "Okay, I have to poop." Like that's what it is. Like it hurts so much. I go to the bathroom, I poop out like this much, dude, this much. But if I was in there struggling, literally veins popping out of my neck, I was like, "Oh,
turned into the hole." Hey, so
dude, it was so bad.
When he poops, like
Hulk?
Jack Quaid's character.
Oh, that was like the Hulk.
He can't feel that, right? Like
no, but, okay. I think he would have to look at it and see.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that was just so because one of my questions about it, I was like, so what sensations can he feel? And then she asked do you feel pleasure? And I know we were just talking about sex scenes off screen. This one wasn't really one, but I was like, I have a similar question actually.
Hey, that was a good sex scene off screen. Yeah.
But
it's obvious that they did something.
I didn't see it happening.
It can work.
No, I mean I did like that. Genuinely on just not a joking level, but on a thematic level.
Yeah.
I actually liked that scene a lot where she was like, "You're not the only person that goes through
and they connected
separate things." Yeah, and I liked that quite a bit. But
I like how they trauma bonded.
Yeah. But the thing that sort of bothered me for a bit was whenever I thought she was just kind of using him. Oh. It just made me realize how much sympathy I had for Jack Quaid's character at that point. But then, of course, at the end, once he's like, "You know what? I am doing this for you," and she does like him, I was so happy.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And that final action scene where his arm gets snapped off.
Dude, yes.
Yeah. Ugh. The way he kills.
Oh, and the second time, the 2 times that he used the EpiPen.
Yes, that was great also. Yeah. I was never so excited for a diabetes tool.
Yeah, it makes me want to use it now.
Yeah.
We should use
adrenaline. Yeah, just for anything.
Yeah.
Aren't they expensive?
But I don't. Yeah, possibly.
One other thing I liked about this was it's really easy to get me with creative camera work. This had some super creative camera work. Whenever the zoom happens with his eyes with the adrenaline.
Oh,
so cool. Also, one other thing. I know it happens in a lot of action movies, but again, really easy to get me.
Yeah.
Have the camera track along with their body.
Oh.
When he gets slammed back and then forth was awesome. It was so cool. Yeah. I loved how that looked. And this is one of those movies where I'm like, are they going to make a sequel? I don't know. But I feel like it's very susceptible to an idea of another one.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind.
I wonder how they would do it. They would probably make it where he feels something again.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't feel pain anymore.
Yeah.
And enables the other day, which is whatever. I don't really care how it goes. Just the action sequences alone in this movie were great and very entertaining enough. And just Jack Quaid himself, he can definitely lead.
Yeah, these are one of those, this movie felt very throwback in the sense of the old school ones that were also funny. They had, let's say Rush Hour or
I did like Rush Hour.
Yeah, any of those earlier 2000s or even 80s and 90s action movies that also had a heart to them, and they had Big Trouble in Little China. And they also had a sense of Looney Tunes goofy energy to them.
I love Looney Tunes.
I do too, which by the way, that movie it came out.
Which one?
The Looney Tunes movie.
What do you mean?
It came out. It's in theaters right now.
What Looney Tunes? The one with the coyote?
No, the other one. The day that the Earth blew up or whatever it's called. You told me that you saw the trailer for it and you thought it looked great.
Yeah, you don't remember.
Yeah, it was very, very poorly marketed.
Dude, I hate marketing!
And I've heard it's great. But, again, this reminded me of that sort of slapstick Charlie Chaplin, but also has to do with action as well.
Yeah.
That's why it reminded me of John Wick, kind of, because those have a very, very, much drier sense of humor, but you gotta admit, parts of them are funny.
Oh, yeah.
This one was very, direct about it, though. And that kind of leads me into, do you have any more positives?
No, I'm not really.
No,
it's very straightforward.
It is very straightforward. I thought it was a ton of fun.
Yes, very fun.
However, I guess I have a couple of negatives to say. What do you feel?
Honestly, I didn't really have negatives.
No.
I would probably just say I wish I got more from the girl.
Yeah.
That he dated.
Yeah.
And the brother too. I think because like, I understand like she was saying like she was an orphan, like got into like the family and it seemed like it was like of course it was him.
Yeah.
But I guess more so like their relationship. I think it's kind of obvious what it is, but I think if I had a bit more depth, it would have been a lot more interesting to see her.
I don't even recognize you
anymore. And I'm like, but I don't even recognize him.
As much as we were making fun of dialogue in the Electric State, this does have a couple of.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who you are. And there's one I cannot remember.
That only happened though with the bad guys in the movie.
Yeah, but no, Jack Quaid does say something in the police car that I was like,
which one? With the if you had a daughter.
No, but I guess that's one of them when she's like, have it your way. But no. It was more along the lines of like, you're going to want to see this, but it wasn't that. It was something else. No, they did say that. The cop said that. One of the cops said that at some point. Honestly, this isn't a negative about him or his character. Jacob Batalon's character, the CEO of Sex, the one
obviously.
I wish he was in it more.
It was just mostly his voice.
Yeah.
He was in it, but not himself.
Like the joke where, because the trailer does...
Jason Momoa!
The trailer reveals who it was, but even if we didn't know, I have seen No Way Home and all the Spider-Man, just enough that whenever he's like, oh, how do you do it, or whatever, and you can hear who it is, I was like, even if they didn't advertise who this was, I would have seen this coming like a mile away.
Dude, that's so funny. You said you look like Jason Momoa. I do.
He said, kinda.
Yeah. And I was like, what?
Or he's like, where's your Harley? And he's like, it's sorta outside.
Yeah.
That joke's been done before, but it was really funny.
Yeah, it was funny. I think this has been a minute.
Yeah, since you've seen that kind of thing. But honestly, I thought this was a great time. Another thing with it, probably because it's a smaller budget movie, I wish that there was like maybe one more action scene, which is why I want another one of these. Yeah. I hope it like catches on, because I've heard it's doing okay. Yeah. I hope it catches on how John Wick did in like home video stuff. Where
I can see that happening. Yeah.
Or like, I'm surprised this didn't go straight to Netflix or something. I'm not saying it should have. It should not have.
Whoa! Just like. What's the last movie that came out?
The Electric State?
No, the other one. The one that's in theaters right now. Oh, Mickey 17.
Oh, that comes out in digital in like
next week or two.
Yeah, that's crazy. But no, I kind of loved this movie. I thought it was a ton of fun. It did exactly what it set out to do. Yes. Exactly what I would say. The action is super fun and creative. And did you have you had a favorite one?
Like a scene?
Yeah.
It's probably the tattoo one as well. That was really fun.
I don't want to let this go unchecked. I loved the Home Alone one where he was like, these guys are obviously future.
Whenever he was going through the house and just like the booby traps were getting to him and he's like, oh man.
That was another thing where I was like, it felt very much like,
and whenever he kills the guy with the arrow, he's like, that's a bad way to go.
Smashes it in between his legs. It felt very like reminiscent of, this feels exactly like something in Tom and Jerry where they would have something like stuck to their back and then Tom would go, wah!
It's like, a bomb. Dude, no.
He's like, wait.
Dude, I love that humor so much.
There's like a TikTok.
We have to make a video.
We will.
Guys, give me 1 second.
But there's a... Okay, well, he writes that down. I'm going to go ahead and give my final thoughts here. I love this, and I'm going to give this a score of a 4 out of 5, I feel. What do you think?
I'm going to give it a 4.
Yeah?
4.
Why? What did you think of it overall?
Overall? It was good. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's a movie that you guys should watch over all the other ones that we've seen.
Yeah, so if you clicked on any of our reviews, this is easily the best one.
This is the best one to go watch in theaters right now.
You can tell sometimes we have more to complain about than we do our positives. This one's really simple, though. Like, if you're like, sometimes we bring this up. If you're like, hey, should I spend the money on this? Yes.
This one, yes, absolutely.
I thought it was like, you're going to see edits of it probably in a few months. Yeah. It's probably going to be on something where it's like, underrated movies of the year, because if it goes kind of underseen, I feel.
I could see that.
Yeah. Loved it. What's up next?
Oh, Snow White.
Snow White, that's right.
Snow White. Is it just Snow White or is it?
I think it's just called Snow White, but I mean, Snow White and the Seven Dwarves.
All right, guys. I'm excited for it. No, I'm not. Actually, I have no opinion. I have nothing.
Congratulations, changing your opinion 3 times
in a
2
row.
seconds.
Yeah. It's not bad, right?
I know that my mom is excited for it.
I think I'm excited to hear everyone's opinion about that movie.
Yeah.
Because I know it's weird because I hear people excited for Rachel Zegler.
I like, and she can sing. That's my opinion.
But I also hear people complaining about how the fact that like the things that she says about Snow White, comparing it to the movie.
I think people, who cares?
Whoa,
who cares?
Whoa,
who cares?
Whoa. So you're saying it should be different?
I don't care.
What do you mean you don't care? It's live action.
Yeah, why do they keep doing that?
I don't know. I don't know.
You know what?
Wait. Thoughts on Lilo and Stitch?
I like that trailer. We're going to get there when we get there.
Yes, we'll see.
I kind of like the trailer
for Snow White. Guys, I still have no opinion. I don't care.
Gal Gadot looks,
I don't really like Gal Gadot
anymore.
I don't know.
We're going to see. Well, what are they going to do?
They're going to dislike everything with Gal Gadot. That's what they're going to do.
But our video.
Oh, they're going to like, comment, and subscribe.
Please do. What did you guys think of Novocaine?
Can you feel this?
Yes, I can. I don't have that.
Okay.
Imagine if I... Oh, man.
Dude, that'd be cool, right?
It would be kind of cool. I feel like I understand why he padded his room with all that stuff, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be scary, actually. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Keep an eye out for Snow White. And again,
keep an eye out.
We are also on Instagram and TikTok. We like to post stuff on there now.
Yes.
On TikTok, we are at some.
Guys, comment some ideas that you want us to do too.
Also, yeah, we'll take totally any ideas.
Yes,
we want to see that. Yeah. At Somewhere Between Pod, and on Instagram, we are at Somewhere Between Film. Yes. So, again, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. We will see you next time.